Howdy. So, um, everybody knows that I am I guess you'd say, kind of budget-minded fisherman as far as my fly tying goes. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I use, you know, I'm not picky about my hooks, things like that. I'm all about supporting local fly shops and things, and enjoy going to those. But sometimes, you get on the phone or get on Amazon and start shopping. And today I received in the mail some stuff that I ordered from Amazon. One being a set of tying thread that is 16 rolls of thread that I got for, I think it was $13 or $18. So, yeah, pretty good deal on the thread. The other thing that I got was a new fly reel. So I have four fly rods. I have two 5 to 6 weights. I have one 8 weight, and I have one 3 weight. I have 5 rods. I have another one that my dad had that's another 5/6 that's from a kit. But so when I started fly fishing, I originally went to Cabelas, which is in Kyle, Texas, or near there. Anyway, near Austin is Cabelas, and there wasn't a Bass Pro yet. I went in there, and it's about 45 minutes from New Braunfels and the Guadalupe River, where a lot of people fish, and it's also near San Marcos River and the Blanco River, where I fished quite a bit. So I wanted to get into fly fishing, had the opportunity. So I went and picked up a fly rod set that would be good for fishing that area. I didn't know anything about it at the time, and this was about 11 years ago. So when I went in, they gave me the traditional, the brand or the label traditional, Cabelas traditional rod, and maybe I think later it became the traditional 2, something like that, because I have a couple of those. I have actually 3 of the rods that I have are the same branding. And the reel that it came with is the Prestige Plus 2. So I'll show you that one first. Let me switch this around and zoom in a little bit. So Prestige Plus 2 from Cabelas. So, being the budget-minded person, I thought that this was a great deal. I'm not the kind of person that will go out and buy, a $400 Orvis reel and a $500 or $700 or $1,000 Orvis rod. The rods and reels that I have work perfectly fine for what I do, and so far they've never failed me. So I've had this reel for 11 years, and it works just fine. I love that it doesn't make a lot of noise when you're reeling it. It has the release here, just like most, and comes off. You have the bearings inside and the stop bearing, I think is what it's called, that you can switch that out to change the direction for if you use a different hand when you fish. And I never knew about that because I never needed that it was right whenever I got it, and I never had to switch it. So that takes us to, I've messed up my thread or my string here. Great. Anyway, so the thing that I learned today when I got one of my purchases from Amazon, no, I'll show you what it is first. So there's that. That's the Prestige. Put that back where it was. I got today, I believe you pronounce it Croch. The fish makes the letter C, Croch. This is a Croch fly rod, or fly reel. So when I took this out of the package, I wouldn't say I was pleasantly surprised. It looks pretty much like I expected it to look. So this is on Amazon, and I believe I got it for $18.99. It's got the sizing right there on there. I just noticed that. That's cool. And then it's got the name etched on the end. I thought it was machined aluminum, and I don't think it is. Feels like it might be molded. That's fine. It's no big deal to me. So when you push this little switch here, and the reel comes off, the spool on the reel. And the reason I took it off, I mean, I took it off to feel it, but when I was, checking the reel to see how it functioned, make sure everything was cool so I didn't have to return it, I noticed that it actually was going the wrong direction. And I thought I was going to have to return it because I didn't know you could swap them out. So I started looking online real quick. Everything worked fine, but it was going backwards. So I looked at it and found out you could swap it out. And so I took the reel off. I took out the little spring in there, and I took out this outer. It's called the stop bearing. There's two other bearings inside there, but this one right here is the one that makes it go the other direction. So I took the spring out, flipped that over, put it back in, put the spring in, and reconnected it, and it worked the way it's supposed to. I will say, when I'm out fishing and I hear other people that have reels that make noise when you turn them, that bothers me. So that might be one thing that I don't like about this reel from the get-go, before I've even fished with it, because I just got it in today. I haven't fished with it or anything. So that might be a knock for me on this one. That being said, and that aside, I'll finish my story. So after I switched that and realized that it worked out, and after noticing the way that all the mechanism in this works, or how it looks, then I went to my gear and I pulled out this other reel. And I thought, man, these things look very, very similar. They're counterweighted. There's the weight there. There is the same release button or switch or whatever you call it. The bases are very similar, which, that's going to be the case with most fly reels. But then I did this. I took it off and I looked inside, because I had never noticed in my reel that you could switch the bearing, and I saw that they are essentially the same on the inside. And then I looked at the bases, and that mechanism is very similar to post. And then I did this. So the first time that I did that, I thought, son of a gun, it fits. Now, I didn't notice right away because I was kind of beside myself that there's a little gap here, and I didn't try the other way. So there's a little gap here, which is not great. If you're reeling it in and the line gets over there, it could get in between and get in your mechanism there and cause all kinds of problems. So I don't recommend this for a fishing situation. And then also, when I was about to do this video and I sat down, I thought, I better try the other one before I make this video. So it goes, but it doesn't click because the depth, the width of this is slightly different than the other one. So it doesn't actually go on and click. But the mechanism works the same way. So what that makes me think, and again, this is my reel is a 10-year-old reel, and who knows if they've changed the design and widened the spool. So that being said, my discovery is that essentially the reel that I got at at Cabelas 10 years ago that they gave me, sold me with their, basic fly fishing setup. Got that for $40 in the set. Got this one for $18 on Amazon. Now again, I haven't used this yet, but I'm going to assume that if I've had this one for 10 years without failure, no failure in function, it's been in the water, I haven't used it in salt water, but it's been in the water, and I don't clean it, I don't oil it, and it still is just as smooth as can be. I would venture to say that I can expect the same functionality, because it seems to me like these things just about come from the same stinking place. So anyway, I feel like I'm pretty confident this is going to be a very good budget reel for $20 less than I got it for 10 years ago at Cabelas. Now, not knocking this reel, because this has been a trooper. I've broken 3 or 4 rods, I think 3 rods, and replaced them, and this reel has kept going and kept going, and I use it now between 2 different rods. I have the Temple Fork 4-piece, the Healing Waters rod, I think is what it is, and then I have my traditional rod from Cabelas, and this has been on both, and I use it on both, and it works really great. So I anticipate this Croch reel on Amazon for $18.99, I think it is, will be a really good option. If you're the kind of fisherman that I am. So check it out. They're very inexpensive. They actually have one that's I may look into this one later. It's the same as the Cabelas. It's black, and it comes with line on it, backing and line. I don't know what the quality of the line is, but if you get around the same price, if you get a reel with a whole spool of line and backing, it's a pretty good deal. So I'd have to double check the price. It may be a little higher. But when I got the Prestige, it was $39. The line was, I want to say, $40, and I think they gave me the backing for buying the set. So, but backing is cheap. So when I bought that, the whole set was, I believe, $115 for for the rod, the reel, the line, and a case. Didn't buy any flies because I bought some stuff to tie my own flies, so that was kind of cool. Anyway, if you want to try fly fishing, Amazon's a good place to get budget gear, especially if you don't have a fly shop nearby. It's good to check with the fly shop, though, to find out places to go, to find out what to fish with, where things are biting, where they're not, what to avoid, if you need a license and things like that. But definitely, like for me right now, I've got a fly shop about 15 minutes away, 10 to 15 minutes away, but they're not open all the time. And then there's a Bass Pro Shops, but it's nearly an hour drive, maybe a little bit further. So I can't just run over there and pick up some cheap gear. So I just shop Amazon and let it come to me. But anyway, give it a shot if you like it, if you're interested. And hope you have a good evening.